In this video, I'll be exploring some of the best free alternatives to the most popular VR games. While these alternatives may not be perfect, hopefully they can provide you with a somewhat similar experience for free. Some of you may have seen my previous video on this topic, but since then, with the help of my community, I have discovered many new and even better examples that I'm excited to share with you today. First up, I have a sword fighting game that is a great alternative to Blade and Sorcery. It's called Battle Talent and it's quickly becoming one of my favorite new games for the Quest 2. The weapon physics, game mechanics, and AI enemies are all very impressive, and to top it off, there are both mods in-game and online. It will, however, be moving from App Lab to the official store soon, so make sure to download it for free while you still can. Up next, we have a VR game that is a great alternative to Minecraft. While it doesn't have the crafting features, I highly recommend still checking it out. It's called Ancient Dungeon and it's been on my radar for a while. It's one of those games you always see in the background, but I only recently actually gave it a try, and I'm happy to say it is a fantastic game. Everything in it is top notch, making for an incredibly immersive experience. You can play Minecraft in VR with Questcraft, but it requires owning Minecraft Java and setting it up within Sidequest. Luckily, Ancient Dungeon is available for free on the Quest store. Just use the link in the video description so you get it for free. Up next, I have two alternatives to both Bonelab and Boneworks, or one for each depending on how you want to look at it. The first one you might have heard of already. It's called Physics Playground. It's a fun yet simple physics-driven sandbox game. Make sure not to confuse it with Use Physics Playground, which is a terrible game. The other alternative is a bit of a hidden gem, but it does have a lot more to offer. It's called Fin and it really lets you get creative. You can weld objects together, make electrical connections, build motorized vehicles, and really just let your imagination run wild. Fun fact, the developer of Fin is also working on a program called Standable, which is a full body estimation software. While we're on the subject of super talented developers, we might as well bring up our next game, which is an alternative to Breachers. Breachers was built by Triangle Factory, and that's actually the same studio responsible for a free game called Hyperdash. Hyperdash is a multiplayer shooter in which players move throughout maps in unique ways. Instead of just running, you could dash around, kind of like teleport around the map very quickly, and you could also grind on rails that are placed in convenient areas. While Breachers and Hyperdash are very different games, you can see a ton of similarities in the development style of both of them, and if you don't have $30 to spend on Breachers, then Hyperdash might just be the perfect free alternative. Moving on, I have a comparison for the most popular horror game on the Quest 2, Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted. While in the past I've suggested trying the flat screen to VR mod of Five Nights at Freddy's sister location as a free alternative, I recently discovered a knockoff game called Polar Dread. While I personally am way too much of a wimp to play it myself, I have heard great things about it from the VR community, and with almost a perfect 5-star rating, I can confidently say it's worth giving a try if you want some quality jump scares. On a lighter note, I do have a great free knockoff to Fortnite. I know Fortnite is already free, but since it's not a VR game, I'm gonna include it in this list. If you don't already know, Population 1 is the #1 Battle Royale game in VR. A recent update even added PvP multiplayer modes. While it might not have the brand name of Fortnite VR, Population 1, put simply, is Fortnite VR. And as a couple of months ago, it is 100% free. If you're looking for a more realistic serious shooter such as an alternative to Contractors or Pavlov or Onward, don't worry, I got you covered. First up is Pavlov Shack, a multiplayer shooter that offers realistic weapon mechanics and 5v5 online matches. The other alternative is Aim XR, which has a more quirky style. The proportions are a bit off, making you feel like you have giant hands and a giant gun, but I guess that's what App Lab is for, and don't let that deter you. I played a 5v5 match with real players and had a blast. Plus, it's free, so it can't hurt to check out. While I know a lot of these free alternatives may not be perfect comparisons, hopefully they do offer you some immersive VR gameplay without breaking the bank. If you like this video and you want more VR content, please be sure to subscribe. The links to all the games I mentioned are in the video's description. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, this is Andy's VR Reviews.